All right. Shit. Wasn't expecting it to turn out this way, ladies and gentlemen. So, you probably have noticed the podcast is late. And this is the third week I have not had a show out. And normally I wouldn't waste my time with such a thing because normally I would just say, well, when I get the show done, I get the show done. Well, I'm actually trying to stay reasonably consistent for once in my fucking life. So, here we are, everybody. Welcome to the turn based Cynics. Except it's not Cynics, it's the Cynic, and I have to explain myself so you all don't think this show died. And unfortunately, it's going to be a very long road to get from where I started to where we are now. So strap in, ladies and gentlemen, because you're in for a fucking ride. All right. What happened? Why has it been 3 weeks and why hasn't there been a show? Okay, week one. This was not my fault, believe it or not. I had a lot of other shit going on, but that wouldn't have stopped me from doing the show. What stopped me from doing the show was the fact that my mic arm that I had at the time broke, snapped, literally snapped, snapped at the hinge right at the joint where it connects to the table. So I went to go. I usually move my mic out the way whenever I'm just using my PC. I went to go move it, and next thing you know, crack, it snapped. So, cool. Fantastic. So, instantly, I'm out of commission that week. That week put me out of commission pretty much immediately. And I didn't even get to replace it till like much later on down the week, which really sucked because I got nothing. Thankfully, I was able to get it replaced fast enough to where I didn't suffer too many content delays on my normal content. But just on like a general level, just having that happen sucks. Okay, week one. Week two. So this was supposed to be a rebound for me. I was actually going to be co-starring in someone else's podcast or someone else's podcast show that week. That was the plan. And then that I would promote, and that would kind of be a makeshift way to make sure people know that the podcast didn't die because I'm still out there hyping up my show. And, well, it got canceled despite my best effort. Well, despite his best efforts. And I'm not going to really go on too much about that because that's not really his fault. There's a lot of other things that was going on that day for him. But yeah, show got canceled. So I was now out 2 shows entirely with nothing to show for it, which is fucking fantastic to be out 2 shows, if I may say so myself. To being out 2 shows sucks. It's just a bad time. No one wants it. No one likes it. It sucks. This week, so yeah, 2 shows right there, out 2 shows. But that's fine, right? I was like, okay, one was on me, one was on him. That sucks. But I got the 50th episode coming up. I'm going to really try to make this one count and make sure I get back on that horse and get this show out like I'm supposed to. Okay, it's going to sound like this is unrelated, but I promise you, I bet you this had something to do with why the show didn't happen this week, either emotionally, mentally, or just my mental well-being and subconscious did not want me to be here for today's show. And I'm going to explain. This is a rough one for me, honestly. This has been pretty rough. My family has our family dog in another state. His name is Buddy. I'll put him over in CD's window. That's Buddy. I love him. He's a fantastic dog. Friday was his 14th birthday, and I'm at work, and I get a text from my mom, and she's like, "Hey, call me on Saturday. I need to talk to you about Buddy." Okay. I mean, I'm not concerned. Last time I talked to my mom like every other week. I'm not worried. I just talked to her. She said Buddy was fine. I ain't worried like that. So probably about his procedure or whatever. He's probably fine. He's fine. So like I'm not like at that point in time, at that moment in time, at that point, I am not worried. Like my concern level is bare minimum. I'm like, it's probably nothing big. You know, he's probably bouncing around having a good time. Or maybe it is a big deal. But like right then and there, my concern is like a bare minimum for me. Right? Like bare minimum. I'm having like no real stress. It's not about, she's not worried about me for a change, which is a plus. So I'm like, yeah, okay, you know what? I'll call her on Saturday after I'm done with work on Friday. I'll go home, relax, chill out. Saturday I'm off. I'll give her a call and I'll find out what's going on. Probably not a big deal. Oh goodness. It was a big deal. It was a very big deal. It was I couldn't possibly emphasize how big of a deal this was. I get a text probably an hour or so later from my brother. Now, me and my brother are good like that, but he doesn't text me all that often, right? We have so many other ways of communicating, so 9 times out of 10, I don't get text from him. That's not how that goes with him. So, if he's texting me during the day when I know he knows I'm at work, that's a problem. Like, that doesn't happen with him. He doesn't text me in the middle of the day, right? I'm at work from like 7 to like 7:45 to like 4 or 8:45 to 5. So during those hours, no one's really bothering me because I'm at work. So I ain't gonna respond to you no ways. Well, he texts me middle of the day. Keep in mind, this is like an hour after my mom texts me. So, you know, I ain't really like stressed like that, right? And he's like, hey, Mike, just want to let you know, we might have to put Buddy down. Like tomorrow. Okay. I have now gone from not stressed to like mild, like I'm stressed, but like I've had a scare with this before, but I'm not like super stressed, right? Because he doesn't respond to me usually. He'll text me and then he'll move on. So he's not like elaborating, right? So I'm like, okay, all right. I'm not gonna panic. I'm not gonna panic. I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna panic. But I'm not waiting until Saturday. There ain't no way I'm waiting until Saturday. I'm calling her. I'm calling her as soon as I take my 15. So, like, 45 minutes, an hour go by. I finally take my 15. Right. I'm now like the closer it gets, the more stressed out I get. Like, understand, I'm at this point I am now officially stressed the fuck out. Like, way more than I probably should be. So I call my mom. My mom's like, hey, I wasn't expecting to hear from you until like Saturday. And I'm like, yeah, but Brian texts me. And Brian he'll message me on Steam. You know, he has other ways of communicating with me. He direct texted me, like on his phone. That is not something he usually does. And he said, Buddy's getting put down tomorrow. What's going on? I just talked to you I just talked to her literally like a week and a half ago. He was fine. So like, what happened? Like a week and a half? Like either y'all wasn't telling me the truth or like something's gone terribly wrong. Well, they were telling me the truth and things had gone terribly wrong very quickly. It turns out Buddy had a form of cancer that we just weren't aware of. It hadn't really affected him up until this point. And now it had gotten to a point where his liver had overinflated, was putting pressure on his stomach, and he could barely walk. He'd get up onto his feet. Look, this dog is He wants nothing more than to please you. And what's crazy about this dog is, I, according to my mom, he would just try. He would try his hardest to get up and make you think, make you feel better. You know, he wants to be a people pleaser. He'd try to get up onto his feet and make you feel better. And then he would kind of like fall back down. And he would just do this throughout the day, apparently. And he didn't get better. And my mom told me that. And I lie to you not. I cried. I cried. I cried so hard on the phone. I lost it. Like, it was at the end of the conversation. And you know when you're like on the verge of crying, but you can keep it together, right? Like you're about to, but you got control, right? You're still in control of your feelings, and you're holding on by like a thread. And then, like clockwork, the person you're talking to asks you, "Are you okay?" And at that moment, my mom asked me, "Are you okay?" And I broke down. Just right then and there, broke down into tears. Just crying my eyes out that my dog was being put down tomorrow. Or Saturday. And I'm not gonna say that's the reason why today's show didn't go up, but I am going to say that that probably didn't help me get this show up. That didn't help me be in the right place for this show to get done. I haven't talked to my parents. I think I've only really talked to my brother since Saturday. I haven't been able to talk to my parents. I can't. I don't want to have that conversation with them. I talked to my brother when I got home Friday, and I asked him, I'm like, "Bro, keep it honest. Is he suffering?" Right? Cuz like the way my mom told it, it didn't sound that. It sounded bad, but it didn't sound that bad. And my brother's like, "No, he is. It's bad." And I went to go talk to my wife, and I broke down again. Just broke down into tears. Just crying my eyes out about my dog. And man, that really hurt. I'm not there. My brother's there, so he was there for them putting him down, which is good. I think he should have been there. I think if I was living with my parents, if I was living in town, I probably would have been there too. But it's good that he was there. So yeah, I'm not gonna say that like me oversleeping past the show isn't my fault, but I'm also not gonna beat myself up about it, because it's not as simple as just like Goofy Rezo being fucking goofy and fucking sleeping past his show because he just doesn't know how to set an alarm. Which, by the way, I know how to set an alarm, alright? Just sometimes the alarm goes off, I turn it off, I roll back over, I go back to sleep. It happens, alright? I make mistakes, I fuck up, alright? My bad. But, yeah, that has been the last 48 to 72 hours of my life rolled into a painful few days. If as long as nothing else terrible happens or emotionally fucks me up in the next week, we are going to have our show next week. And we're going to be having a special guest on the show that week, so that's going to be cool. He's actually a good friend. He's actually a friend of mine, but he's a little bit more than just a friend. I think you guys are really gonna like this guy. He's super cool. So it's gonna be really cool to have him on the show that week. I don't know if I'm gonna have the show the week after because that's when I'm supposed to be guest starring on the other show again. The guy was like, "You got to still come on. I can't just cancel on you like that." So we're gonna see how that goes. I'll keep you guys posted. I normally wouldn't even do an episode like this by myself, where it's just kind of just me talking, and I guess technically having a fucking therapy session, but that is what it is. That is what it is. I apologize. I didn't mean for us to miss 3 weeks running. I feel like that's been a real shit kicker for me personally, because I've been trying really hard to not miss shows. And like, I can accept missing a show because of my health. It's harder to miss a show for like other reasons, right? A piece of equipment failing, fine. My health not always cooperating with me, okay. Emotional distress brought on by losing a family animal of 14 years, not on my list of things I was expecting. So I know people are going to be like, it's not your fault, don't feel bad. Anybody in your situation probably would be in that same situation, would probably have felt the same way. I know, but this show, and I need to really say this. I feel like I probably should say this at some point. This show is my responsibility. This is my show. Like it or not, that's just the way it is. I made the show. The show has continued because of me. This is my show. So regardless of whether or not you think it's fair of me to beat myself up about my own show, it is still my show. And my goal has always been to do what is the best thing for the show, what is the best thing for me. And for me, making sure the show is done and uploaded on time every week, that is what I value. That is the thing I care about most. That is the thing I work towards. And that is the thing I've continued to work towards. And I will continue to work towards that and infinitum until the fucking heat death of the fucking universe. Oh, God. Damn. You know, I realized I did this out of order. I probably should have talked about what I've been playing lately, but, you know, we're here. For those of you who are interested, I found Animal Crossing again. Okay. Probably good I segue to something a little less heavy. I actually bought Animal Crossing at launch, and this is going to play into that weird issue with me. I bought it at launch. At the time, did I? That would be Persona 5 Royal? That would be around the time of Persona 5 Royal. I'd have to check when did that come out? When did Persona 5 Royal? October 31st, 2019? Was I even on my 2 Switch shit at the time? I don't even think I was on that shit at the time. No, I don't think I was. I don't think I was. I think I was still rocking like 1 Switch at that point. I don't think I was rocking more than 1 Switch at that time. In October, no, fuck that. I would have only been rocking like 1 Switch. So it comes out. I didn't like using the base Switch handheld because it just didn't feel comfortable. And because I had never considered time travel to be a thing I'd ever do, I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to play it 9 times out of 10 during the day, and that's when mostly everything happens. So, you know, I tried it, and I just kind of felt like it wasn't going to work, just like logistically. And then I tried it again when I actually had my Switch Lite and my normal Switch, but because you can only have your island in one place at any given time, that led to issues. Whereas I kind of still like being able to like screenshot my shit, being able to play on the TV, being able to have that versatility. And at the time, I didn't know about grips. So that was like the second time I tried Animal Crossing. And I just said, okay, this isn't going to work. I still want the versatility, and I'm not getting that from this option. Well, this time, I have the versatility, and the game's fucking fantastic. I play it like every day for a couple hours, if not more a day. So that's been my go-to. I've also been playing a decent amount of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and believe it or not, that game is fucking anime. Holy shit. Holy shit. I'm not even that far, and I'm already like invested in whatever this game is going to do next. It's crazy because I feel like if you go into this game with a little knowledge, you realize a lot of the complaints about this game are valid, but they're also not valid. Like combat being too slow. I always thought that was weird, but once I was looking stuff up for like months before I started playing. I've had the game since I bought a Switch back when the Switch came out, back when like earlier, like after the Switch came out. And I was already like looking stuff up, trying to understand the game. Not looking at spoilers, just understanding system shit. Like trying to get a grasp of the game. And oh god, this game is fantastic. Oh my god, this is a great game. It's fucking honestly, you should play Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. I'm loving 2 so far. I think I'm chapter 3, so I'm not very far. I just had the boss fight with Morag, and that fight was awesome! Oh my god, look, I love Inquisitor characters. Like, actual Inquisitor characters. This bitch here, true Inquisitor. She's the kind of girl, she's the kind of Warhammer 40k bitch who walks into town, asks 5 questions, and goes, nah, there's fucking heresy. Burns the whole town down. And I fucking love it. I love that shit. Shit is fantastic. Oh my god. I love it. I love it so much. I haven't committed myself to playing more for whatever reason. I don't know why. I think Animal Crossing is eating up my time lately. And I've also been like still playing Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster on Switch. And that's also been a lot of fun. Really digging that. I've also have this is a funny story. I went out, I was at work, and my boss, my assistant manager, was like, hey, I got a box of like PS3, PS4, and Xbox games, and a PS3 in a box. Do you want it? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want it. How much? He goes, no, it's just yours. So I got me a second PS3, which is great, because my PS3 at the time was trapped in storage. I've been really wanting to play Final Fantasy 13. I don't know why, I just have. And I have been playing Final Fantasy 13. And I'm liking it. I don't know, maybe... Okay, so a little clarity here, right? I owned Final Fantasy 13, but I never put enough time into it to have an opinion. I am very aware of the opinions surrounding the game. I understand what I've seen. I understand what I've heard. I've seen the opinions. I get it, all right? I do. I understand. I'm really not interested in the response. You know, I would much rather kind of build that opinion myself. I want to see whether or not I like the game. And I'd like to get to 10-2, or 13-2, because I heard 13-2 is fucking fantastic. And I want to get to play that one too, because there is an optional boss fight with Gilgamesh. And that soundtrack for that fight, fucking, oh my god. Have you heard that? Oh, it's so good. The soundtrack. Gilgamesh's battle music. Battle on the Big Bridge in Final Fantasy 13-2. It's so good. It is absolutely fantastic. If you have not heard it, I will have a link to in the YouTube description and a link in the podcast notes to the YouTube video of his boss theme for 13.2. And as a supplementary, I'll also have one for the Pixel Remaster of 5 and probably the original 5. Get the contrast. His theme in 13.2 is fucking phenomenal, and I fucking will fight every single one of you nerds to challenge me. It is fucking phenomenal. So yeah, that has been my big kick lately. That's where I've been. Those have been the games I'm playing. Those have been the things I've been engaging with. I'm not really going to say that I haven't had a good time playing all these different games. Honestly, I don't talk about this on the show much, right? Which is crazy, because you would think on a show that I do with CD almost every week, I wouldn't use the one time I get on camera and do this makeshift podcast episode by myself as a means of fucking therapy. Like, that's such a crazy concept. Oh, God. Okay, some of you don't know this about me, right? Only, like, I don't want to say, like, only my friends know, because most of them don't really know. But I kind of want you guys to understand me a little better, because I feel like there is a lot of things about me that that like is implied but not understood, right? So like everyone kind of gets that notion about me, but they don't really know. I owned a lot of video games, and I probably played very little of them up until around 2019. 2018, 2019. Why is that, you ask? Well, I guess a lot of it is I was bored, and my boredom doesn't always facilitate. Okay, when I'm bored, it's not a matter of I have nothing to do, right? Like I rarely ever have a moment when there is nothing to do, right? Like that's not a thing. Like for me, having nothing to do, nothing, absolutely nothing, that is impossible. That I would have to actually try to make that happen. Boredom to me, oftentimes, is either a creative boredom or a mental boredom. And for me, it was a creative boredom. And when I came back to YouTube, that creative boredom got filled. When I started podcasting, that creative void got filled. And then something I've had to really parse with myself over the last like handful of months, which is why you've heard me talk about playing so many other games at one time, is the concept of not everything I do has to be with a mind towards content. And that is something that has taken me a very long time to realize, because a lot of what happened was I came back to YouTube, I'm getting these W's, I'm beating these games. The problem is I don't want to play anything else because everything else seems like content. And if it seems like content, I don't want to ruin that. But I'm realizing more and more that me just playing the fucking game, who gives a shit? At best, it's research. At worst, at best, it's me understanding a game better, which has always made for better content anyways. At worst, I don't even get to the fucking thing for like a year or two anyways, because I have so many other things I gotta get done. And once I kind of really made that mental leap, that mental connection of like, content doesn't necessarily mean that I just don't play games, it made it a lot easier to actually play games. You know, I'm a lot more likely to turn a video game on and just fucking play it. You know, not everything has to be with an eye to content. Now it's like everything I do is now more with an eye towards what I want to play. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a game I want to play. Now you might be asking, why? I'll tell you why. Because I'm on the internet and I saw the DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 had both an older Rex and an older Shulk, and I instantly creamed my pants. Instantly. Pounds of baby gravy into my pants. You couldn't have come up with like I love Shulk. You all don't really understand. Xenoblade Chronicles is a, oh my god. I love Shulk. I do. I love Shulk. I need you all to understand how much I love Shulk. I love this character. I love him so much. I love the fact that the main protagonist of a video game is a giant fucking awkward nerd, a fucking geek who now has to go on this world-spanning adventure and do things he's just never imagined. I love that shit. In contrary to what people say about Rex, I don't mind his design, because the design of his outfit makes sense, right? Like, I realize that, like, you give a character a fuck ton of belts and people instantly look at Nomura and kind of give him the fucking side eye. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm just going to use CD's screen as a visual. So there you go. You get the visual of what I'm talking about. I get that. Like, people look at a character with belts and instantly go, ah, Nomura. But this isn't like Nomura though. So like, that's not the case. All right. Rex's gimmick is that he is an underwater salvage expert. His outfit doubles as basically a scuba. It's basically as scuba gear. All right? That's what his outfit doubles as. So his outfit actually makes a lot of sense why it's built the way it's built. It's not for style. It's for function. So, yeah, I get it. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why people have that issue with him when in the first, like, 10 minutes of the game, you understand that he's designed the way he is because it's for practical reasons. Like, I get that. That's cool. I like that. But, yeah, I love Shulk. So the second I saw that both Shulk and Rex, as, like, adults, were in the DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I, like I said, emptied a pound of baby gravy directly into my pants. And 2, I realized I now had a lot of games to play, because I have to play through Xenoblade Chronicles 2, 3, and a bunch of DLC to get there. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm gonna fucking do it. It might take me a while, but damn it, I'ma make it happen. I'ma play through these fucking video games, and I'm gonna have the fun I deserve to fucking have. And that's it, right? Like, yeah. Will Xenoblade Chronicles 2 be content on my channel? Yeah, probably. At some point. Is it gonna be content anytime soon? Probably not. Probably not. Not really a thing. I don't really see that being a thing anytime soon. I really don't. I don't see that becoming a thing. It could be a thing, but it's not going to become a thing as far as I'm concerned. But, it will eventually happen, so might as well play the game now, have my fun, use it for data collection, and then when I do the game officially, at least I will know the game fairly well, and I think that's what's important. All right, that was fun. Hard, but fun. So, where does that leave us? That leaves us with a show next week, guaranteed. that leaves us without a show the next week, but I will have information on where I'm going to be at that following week, provided it doesn't get canceled again. And hopefully we don't miss any more shows. Hopefully. As always, you can find us on a variety of podcasting platforms such as Apple, Google, and Spotify. As always, every single Sunday, without fail, lest I have to eat a shoe. Believe it or not, I will never get rid of this. This is just part of the show now. You'll just have to live with it. With or without CD, this is part of the show. I can't get rid of it. I have to do it. So, yeah, live with it. I'm going to say this because I haven't really figured this out yet. Okay. We have a turn-based Cynics Twitter that I will openly admit I am the only one who actively uses it. That is because a lot of this show is run by me. And I don't actively use that Twitter very often, which is a problem. Because that's sort of where you would assume you would see us, see content, or see stuff from us. And I don't know if that's going to continue to be a thing. So what I'm going to suggest is that if you want to keep up with the show, if you want to sort of see where the show is going and kind of get updates, follow me on Twitter at Resobaso, Resobaso. Follow me on Twitter, or follow our YouTube channel. I actually don't know. Do I have access to community? I do not have that. Okay. So don't follow the YouTube channel if you want to watch the video show. But I don't believe I'd have to see if we have actual access to the community tab on that channel. We do. No. Follow Turn-Based Cynics, the YouTube channel, and our community tab if you want to keep up with whatever we're doing. I'm going to be making a strong, concerted effort to make sure that anything that goes wrong will be posted there and you will be kept up to date. And if you're interested in my content, follow me at Resobaso on YouTube. I can't always say that my show crosses over with my YouTube channel, but I have plans, so it's very likely you might actually see some of that start to cross over time, but don't make any assumptions until I say for sure. But yeah, just keep that in mind. But yeah, follow me on Twitter. It's not that I don't want to point people at CD. It's just I don't know if CD would necessarily keep you guys posted if a show doesn't happen. It's nothing against him, but he has a lot of other shit on his plate, and aside from just gathering up stories and just doing the show, I tend to take on a lot of the other parts of this show. So I would say if you're interested in just keeping up with the show, follow me. Follow the YouTube channel if you're someone who's going to be on YouTube watching the show. Those are the two ways you're going to hear about what's going on. I guarantee it. As far as the future of Twitter, I'm not convinced. Right now, Twitter seems to be working the way it's supposed to be working. And I'm not totally sold on the idea of jumping ship. None of these other platforms have the following or have shown themselves to be competitors long term, and I'm not convinced. I don't want to make that move. I don't want to suddenly move myself from Twitter to there. I don't see the point. I could, I just don't think it's a good idea. So right now, in the time being, Twitter's where I will be. But if things go drastically wrong, I will let you know, and you will be alerted about where we will be. But right now, in the current day, I don't think Twitter is a dumpster fire enough to jump ship. Somehow, Elon, I don't know how he does it, man. It's actually really impressive. He makes a dumpster fire, but it's just enough of a success to where I don't want to jump ship. It's fucking incredible. I don't know how he does it. So yeah, that is it, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast, I guess, this solo podcast where I just talk for 40 minutes. Not what I had in mind when I started it, but you know what? 90% of what I do isn't what I have in mind. So now I gotta fucking get this thing edited in the next 2 hours and get this out. Cool. Fantastic. Anyways, everybody, we will see you all next week with our 50th episode of the Turn-Based Cynics. And the future of this show is looking kind of bright. Honestly, I'm optimistic. So until then, everybody, stay tuned. Keep on playing them video games. And just keep your head up. Until then, everyone, I'm signing out.